Okay, ma'am. You can start.
Greetings of the day, everyone. I am privileged to welcome you all into the first children's edition of Orange City Literature Festival organized by SDR Knowledge Foundation in association with GH Raisoni University, powered by Raisoni Group of Institutions. The motive behind the fest is to explore the ways that should help students develop emotional intelligence and exposing children to quality literature that can contribute to the creation of responsible, successful, and caring individuals. Why I am saying responsible, successful, and caring individual, it is going to prove in this coming session of this hour. An incredible suspense story with everyone's favorite Chatur Chanakya at the center. Deals with cyberbullying and prepared with much trusted wisdom from Chanakya Neeti. This one is a roller coaster ride that we are going to enjoy with Chanakya Pillai sir. I am talking about Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai, who is going to discuss this Chatur Chanakya book with us in this session. Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai is a management speaker and strategy consultant with nearly 25 years of experience and over 200 plus articles and papers to his credit. He is the founder and director of Chanakya International Institute of Leadership Studies, University of Mumbai, and has a PhD in the Arthashastra from the same university. Dr. Pillai has taught in many prestigious institutions, including Oxford, Cambridge, Indian Institute of Technology, and Indian Institute of Management. He has represented India at the World Congress of Philosophy in Athens, the Academy of Management in San Antonio, Texas, and the Indian Philosophical Congress. He received the International Sardar Patel Award in 2009 and the Avishkar Chanakya Innovation Research Award in 2013 for his contribution to the field of management and industrial development. Dr. Pillai is considered one of the top 30 Indian management thinkers globally by Thinkers 50. His books include the best-selling Corporate Chanakya, Chanakya in You, Chanakya's 7 Secrets of Leadership, Katha Chanakya, Chanakya in Daily Life, and Inside Chanakya's Mind, Anvikshiki and the Art of Thinking. In this session today, with our Chanakya Pillai sir, we are going to discuss this Chanakya for children. I just want to ask, sir, that you have created Chanakya, a corporate Chanakya, which gave so much of insights about his Neeti and management Shastra for the people who are working in corporate world. How have you thought about getting this Chanakya for the children?
Thank you, Mrunal ma'am, for this wonderful introduction. I would like to first of all thank all the organizers at the OCLF Children's Festival this time and the summer festival that's happening first time, especially for children. It's a privilege. And you always keep calling me right from the day when we started this festival. It's a privilege to be part of this.
I missed this point. I'm sorry I'm interrupting here. I missed this point. I missed saying that this Chanakya Pillai is a member of Orange City Literature Festival and the foundation of this children festival is from his mind only. He only encouraged to start this children literature festival. So whatever he is saying, he is the brain behind this children literature festival.
In fact, I would take 50% of the credit, not 100%, because you give the idea and I only tell, okay, go ahead. I'm there to support you. And it has come out so beautiful. So thank you for giving me some credit, but actually it's your brainchild along with all the other organizers. And please, children, let me tell you, and all the parents who are listening, that please continue supporting and also reading books because that's going to change your life completely. Coming back to your first question, Mrunal ma'am, about this whole concept of the book Chatur Chanakya. I've been writing on Chanakya ever since 2010. It's been 12 years, and till date, I've written 21 books on Chanakya. So I remember one of my publishers, Random Penguin Book House, the world's number one. So I'd gone for a meeting in the Delhi office. So I was sitting with my editor over there. and suddenly one person came and said, "Oh, Radhakrishnan Pillai, you've been writing books for us. Thank you so much. But can we have some 5-10 minutes with you?" I asked him, "Who are you?" "I'm part of the children's division." So within Random Penguin Book House, they have puffin books. So his name was Anupam. He told me, "Why don't we have?" So I finished off my meeting, went to the other side, and there was a team waiting for me. I still remember Himani and the other people who were part of the Puffin group. They said, "Why don't you write a children's book?" I said, "That's quite interesting." So I'm one person who believes in others' ideas. Like this Children Literature Festival is your brainchild, but you tell me I created it. Actually, I had only support you. And then I said, okay, that sounds very good, but we cannot write like corporate Chanakya. We need to simplify it the way children can understand. I went back from Delhi to Mumbai. I started brainstorming with my team in my office. I asked them, "What do you think? What do you think?" They said, "It has to be very catchy. The title has to be catchy. The character has to be catchy." And then we said, why not create a new character which is of our generation and help children solve our current day problems. So CC, Corporate Chanakya. We bought a children's character called CC, Chatur Chanakya.
Okay.
And the good news is that we have two books already, Chatur Chanakya and the Himalayan Problem. You can see that as a yellow book. And then the book was such a major hit that we bought out the second one, and that is Chatur Chanakya and the World Wide Web. And my publishers are so happy that they are telling that you should at least write 30 books in the series. So we're discussing a lot. So it's going to be a lot of series. So these two books are already out and doing extremely well amongst three categories: children, parents, and teachers. I think that's very, very important. Only children will not read. The parents and the teachers also have to encourage. So I think it's an idea that was brainstormed and probably everybody is loving it. I have personally visited 100 schools with the book, 100 schools across India. And the response has been fantastic. Thank you once again for introducing Chatur Chanakya for this particular audience. Over to you, Mrunal.
I want to mention here, I have gone through the Himalayan book also, and this one as well. Recently, I finished reading this. I had my Kindle copy as well with me. So I just wanted to ask, like, how you have designed this Vani Vidyalaya, this concept of Vani Vidyalaya came to your mind, like, is it related to your school or it is related to the current schools or something like that?
So thank you for the question. Actually, Vani Vidyalaya is a real school where I studied. And my children, I have two children. The girl is Anvikshiki, who is in 7th standard, and the boy is Arjun, who is in 5th standard. And they go to this school called as Vani Vidyalaya. So it was very easy. It is not a fictional school, it's a real school. So I started thinking like a child myself when I wrote this book. I started imagining how would have I been to would have reacted when I went to school. So my own childhood has been Vani Vidyalaya. My children's school is Vani Vidyalaya, so it's very easy. So it's a school in the suburb of Mumbai called as Mulund. It's a 65-year-old school. It's already seen three generations, and that school is extremely beautiful, very nice, and therefore, this school was included as a part of the plot of the book.
Okay. Here, let's discuss about that. In your first book, you talk about the physical bully. Like Himalaya is bullying Arjun, Lakshmi is there, she is a monitor. And then suddenly Chatur Chanakya enters. Like Chanakya enters and they call it Chatur Chanakya, and he's a thin boy with a choti si choti and everything is there. So how have you thought about that character? That Chanakya, for sure the Chanakya एक बड़ा चाणक्य है जो कॉर्पोरेट चाणक्य है उसको हमने प्रॉपर चाणक्य के रूप में देखा है चाणक्य को छोटे चाणक्य को सेम वैसा बनाने के बारे में जो मतलब how have you thought about that like
Yeah. So as I told you, it was more a brainstorming among the team members, and I realized two things. Number one, the children like shorter names. Chatur Chanakya, only two words. If you make it very big, they will not be able to recollect. Secondly, children like to imagine details. So it's a thin boy. He's got a choti, and he's gone for homeschooling. So when we built that particular character, we wanted it to be easy to remember. And I tell you today, one of the major problems which parents, especially mothers, face is malnutrition. So all the children are generally thin, and parents are worried, khana nahi khata. So one of the things that children associate with is, a lean body. And actually in today's generation, lean means being fit. It is not necessary slim means you're not fit. So we realize one thing, that we need to have a thin character. And many times it's a myth that, if you are thin, you are not strong. So we realize one thing, that the child can be thin, fit, and also mentally strong. And if you look at the word Chanakya, it actually implies smartness. Chanakya, the big one, Chandragupta Maurya's teacher, was extremely smart. But we can't say smart Chanakya. Instead of that, we use this Hindi or Sanskrit word called Chatur. Chatur means smart. And even though he's very thin, he can be easily bullied, but he's got an intelligent mind. So we always say that don't work hard, work smart. He's a smart character, and we have shown the character that he studied a lot of Indian wisdom. He studied Chanakya Neeti himself, and when his friends are under trouble, he will come out with one idea from Chanakya Neeti and solve the problem. So, as you rightly pointed out, Mrunal ma'am, the first book is about physical bullying. So, usually bullying is a very natural thing in every school across the globe. I've seen bullying problems in the Western world also. So, it is not just our problem. But the thing is that how to tackle it. So we thought, let us bring out this whole story about a physical bully called Himalaya. That's why it's called the Himalayan problem. And Himalaya also means something large and huge.
Hefty boy.
Like we have the Himalayan mountains. And little Chatur Chanakya is bullied because when you come to a new school, that's Vanavidyalaya in this case, he is alone, he doesn't know how to protect himself. But he's got a mind, he's got an intellect. So we see in this particular book, the message is that don't worry, even if you are getting bullied, there is some tricks of Chanakya that you can use and save yourself from the bully. So this is the plot of the first book.
Yes. And in the first book, it is like things are in front of him. He can tackle those things. Everything is there. Like even in schools, if anybody is bullying some boy or a girl, in that case, the person is there in front, so they can deal with it. And as Chanakya dealt with Himalaya, so he did it in a very smarter way, that this is how he is going to deal with it. And principal was also like okay with how he dealt, and everything was there. Now here in this book, The World Wide Web, it talks about cyberbullying where Lakshmi is trapped. So how have you thought about this particular concept, like from physical bullying to cyberbullying?
In fact, we always have this major problem when the first book or the first movie becomes a major hit. So Chatur Chanakya and the Himalayan problem became a very big hit. We sold, more than 11, 12,000 copies in the first year itself. But so, when we say Bahubali Part 1, Bahubali Part 2, there'll be always being big expectations and you can't get it wrong. So I spent almost 2 years researching what should be the next topic. And by the time I realized one thing, the whole generation of children were moving online. This was much before the pandemic also. And we can even say that, there's a generation which uses all electronic devices. They're born in the internet world, as we say. They're born in technology.
Yeah.
And if you look at statistics across the globe, cyber crimes are increasing. And children are not spared. So if you look at children, they are also on Facebook, they're on Instagram, they're on YouTube. We have YouTube Kids channels also now. So I actually spoke to a lot of teachers from Vanavidyalaya and other teachers among my friends are saying that if you're looking at children in 5th, 6th standard, what do you think are the major problems? So let me tackle those problems the Chanakya way in my next book. So most of them are complaining, saying that बच्चे आजकल सुनते नहीं है, मोबाइल पे बैठे रहते हैं. That is very generic. Most of the parents complain, especially after pandemic, that they're sitting on the mobile devices on laptop, but we can't avoid it. But one thing which came out is that there was no control about how to deal with the cyberbullying problem. What you rightly pointed out, imagine the smartest in that group is actually the girl called Lakshmi, and she's the monitor of the class. Imagine the monitor of the class itself gets bullied. So
Yes.
she's actually trapped by a cyber bully, and the interesting part of a cyber bully is that you don't know who that person is. At least
Yes.
when you have a physical bully, you can go and complain to your parents, you can complain to your teachers and say, this boy or girl is troubling me. But a cyber bully is always an unknown character. So there's a
Yeah.
lot of mystery in this particular book. I'm saying that how do we actually find out who the cyber bully is?
Yes. Yes.
You cannot doubt saying that ye ho sakta hai, ye ho sakta hai. So it's actually like a game. So in the second book, we try to find out who the person is. So there's a lot of puzzle element, game element, and finally they discover who the cyber bully is.
Yes.
And then later on, so the whole idea is that we have to move from physical bully to our generation where you can bully it without even knowing who the person is.
Yes.
So it's a message for parents, teachers, as well as children. Don't get cyber bullied. And even if you do, don't get worried. There is a way to catch that bully also.
Yes. So here they are. At first, I read the line where they get into like, what do you mean by nasty messages? Like, uh, unknown user and all these things. They are unable to understand what exactly the things are, because for them this was happening for the first time, because and it was happening with Lakshmi. And there comes the Chatur Chanakya with a Chakravyu concept. Can you just give a small idea about how that Chakravyu concept he planned? When I was reading it, I was imagining some web series on Amazon Prime kind of thing, कि वहां पे कोई एक वेब सीरीज चल रही है जिसमें ट्रैप्स और ये सारी चीजें हैं, and then they trap that person when he's going to Aurangabad, and all those things came in this particular area. Can you just tell me that what that Chakravyu concept is and how Chatur Chanakya brings that Chakravyu concept?
Yeah. So as you know, Chakravyu is a concept that comes in the Mahabharata, and it is connected to one of the young heroes called Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu was a young hero, and he had learned how to enter the Chakravyu and come out of it. Unfortunately, he did not get the full knowledge, and Abhimanyu dies in the Chakravyu. Chakravyu actually means a trap, and Chakra means a wheel or a circle. So, this concept was taken from Mahabharata where Arjuna enters and all the enemies finally kill him. Absolutely. So, that's the circle. In Sanskrit, it's called
Searching that
mandala.
page.
It's a maze. Yeah.
Yes,
Correct.
it's very interesting.
Yeah. So, if you look at the book, thanks for showing it. There are a lot of games you can solve also. There are puzzles in the book also. So, this
Yes.
concept came in saying that, Lakshmi was already in a Chakravyu. Her mind was getting caught in a maze. Who is the person? Who is the person? But you require somebody who's more matured with a strategy to help you come out of the Chakravyu. So in this particular book, the Chakravyu is the World Wide Web only, www. So in the internet world, you don't know who is who, and it has been proven that a lot of people actually take, wrong names. They appear as if you're a girl, but actually it can be a boy who can send you a
Yes.
friend request, and you
Yes.
think it's another girl. So let's say Lakshmi gets an invitation from another girl called as Neha. She may think it's Neha, but actually it could be a boy or a man in different disguise. So, and then slowly, when you get into it, maybe that Neha will befriend you first. Slowly, you will get trapped. So you're in a
Yes.
Chakravyu and you don't know how to get out. There's a problem with a lot of students also. Once they make friends, they don't know how to deal with those friends. And actually, they
Yes.
may not be friends, they may be enemies. So this
Yes.
concept of Chakravyu was taken from Mahabharata, but we have used it to solve modern day problems of the World Wide Web.
They have one counselor in this book, Miss Zora, and she tells them what cyberbullying is and how to deal with this. So somewhere I felt that this is the message that we need to give it to the teachers and schools, that there should be one counselor in the school. Not every teacher can be a counselor. So how have you thought about this Miss Zora here?
Yeah, that's a very good question, Mrunal man. Because according to the law, every school is supposed to have a counselor. Every school. because children now are facing a lot of mental health issues. We find the number of mental health problems increasing not only among elders but also children.
Yes.
So there are different kind of counselors: career counselors, psychological counselors, health counselors, nutrition counselors.
Yes.
So if you look at it according to the law, the government has suggested that every school should have a counselor because the teachers and parents were the initial counselors. So if you are having a problem, you'll go to your mother and she will counsel you and say, "Beta, kuch nahi hoga, don't worry." Maybe the grandmother is a counselor, grandparents are a counselor, cousins, elder cousins are counselors. In school also there are counselors when you're not feeling well. The parents, or sorry, the teachers, the principals will give you some time and counsel you. But there comes a point where you require professional counseling. General counseling won't work. Like for example, if the child is been facing some mental challenges for a long period of time, prolonged, we require a qualified counselor or a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Sometimes you even have to go for medical intervention, but everybody cannot afford it individually. So schools have the rule, and therefore, as you rightly pointed out, Zora is actually a counselor, and she helps children to actually tell. So what is the role? Suppose I'm a history teacher. My area is to teach history. I can counsel a little bit, but if it goes beyond a particular point, that's not my area of expertise. So I would suggest all the teachers and principals, especially the principals and the decision makers, to take counseling very seriously, because we are in the very initial stages where counseling is only about advising. No, counseling is not just about advising. It is about understanding the core problem. It's about diagnosing, taking the help of experts, and if required, we can even go to medical experts to solve the mental problems. And today, mental health issues are on a rise, and you see that in the book Chatur Chanakya also, that Lakshmi actually requires good counseling to come
Yes.
out of the Chakravyuh.
Yes, and Chanakya actually plays the role, somewhere he plays the role of counselor also. He plays the role to, find that bully. Somewhere they feel that whether Himalaya is back with this particular trap or something like that. So somewhere I felt that a group of students sitting and they are feeling like we are CIDs and let's do something like that. So, have you also thought that these two kids can sit together like elders? Kids also have their, topics to discuss about. They gather, they discuss. Uh, One becomes the advisor, one becomes somebody. So, have you also thought of this particular thing that these kids can sit together and discuss and they can also plan this? And as you said, that Chanakya has already read Chanakya Neeti, and that somewhere back of his mind, the things are there, and that's why he is Chanakya. So, have you also thought of this that these kids can sit together and discuss all these things like this?
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, a good person, a good friend has to be a counselor and a strategist. It's a combination of two, counseling and strategy. Because counseling can be only advisory, but strategy is about solving the problem. So you find that Chatur Chanakya actually brings everybody together and
Yes.
everybody brainstorms. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? He's a good listener. Remember, with counseling, the first rule is to be a good listener. If you don't listen, you never be able to diagnose the problem. So in the book, I will not tell you who the bully is, cyber bully is. Definitely, it is not Himalaya. So I'm going
Not
to tell you half the secret. It is not Himalaya, but who is the person? That's a secret. And all of them come together. They make a trap. They make another Chakravyuh and make sure that this is the person. They catch it. But it's a team game. It is not an individual game. And the mentor of the team is Chatur Chanakya.
Okay. Somewhere this book is useful for the people who are into Facebook, Instagram, and everything. Because recently I also found that some message was gone through my FB account, and that was my FB account was hacked. So it's like this book is not only for kids, but I would suggest this book is to be referred by parents, teachers, and 60 plus generation also. Because this particular cyberbullying is nowadays became very, very regular with the 60 plus people, because they don't know much about the Facebook accounts and all those internet accounts, and this is happening with them. So Chatur Chanakya may not be there with them, but I guess this book will surely help them. What do you think, sir? What do you think about my favorite book?
You are absolutely right, Mrunal ma'am, that even the elders are getting cyberbullied. So if you look at the senior citizens, they're actually using a lot of Facebook because many of the children are abroad. So they're connecting on Facebook, they're connecting on WhatsApp. And today, the cyber world is full of digital payments also.
Yes.
We can transfer money through GPay, Paytm. And if you get a message and say that you transfer your money, you don't know who the person is. So if you look at most of the police departments across the globe, and especially in India, we find that there's a lot of frauds happening, digital frauds, cyber frauds.
Yes.
But people don't know how to track it, because if I get an SMS or a message saying that send this, and you send it and you realize your money is gone. So you are right. The elders don't understand technology the way children do.
Yes.
So the bullies actually know the psychology of the elders are different from the psychology of the children. So children may get bullied, but at least they're smart enough to understand it. But
Yes.
elders don't even know that the money is gone from the bank. Till after, I know of cases after 2 months they realize paisa chala gaya. So it is not about money, it's about education. So one of the objectives of this book is to educate people on the concept of cyberbullying. And with our country moving up the ladder of digital India, everything is going to be online. Everything.
Yes.
Today we're doing this session online. The whole book festival is online. Think
Yes.
about it. Suddenly this get hacked and we don't have a solution. So the whole idea is awareness and education about cyber bullies through this particular book. So as you rightly pointed out, not only the children should read the book, but elders and especially parents and grandparents should be aware of this concept of cyberbullying.
Yes. And also, what is your message for our tiny readers? And there are kids. I met one or two. I met one like son of my friend. He is just 11 years old, but he read nearly all books. I asked him that whether he read this book. He said he read all your books.
Wow.
I will introduce him to you. So I just want to know that what is your message for our school children, so that they should read this book and they also become Chatur Chanakya. There is Arjun, there is Lakshmi, but Chatur Chanakya should be there in every Lakshmi and Arjun, I feel.
Yeah. Yes. In fact, be the first book or the second book or the 10th book. The message is very clear. There is one underlying message among all Chatur Chanakya books. And the message is this: never fight a battle alone, take some friends along. Never fight a battle alone, take some friends along. So the problem will change. But you always require friends to win over any battle of life. So in the first time it is Himalaya, the physical bully. Second time it is cyber bully. Maybe in the third book it could be something different. But what is common among all Chatur Chanakya books is that they're all together. We have the concept called the famous six of Ganesh Colony. There are six friends.
Yes.
Chatur Chanakya, then we have Lakshmi, we have Mili, we have Aditya, we have Datta, we have Arjun, of course. So all of them are always together helping each other. So friends, life is going to be always challenging. But if you have friends with you, all challenges can be solved. So never fight a battle alone. Take some friends along. This is the central message of all Chatur Chanakya books.
So I would also request all our viewers that do read this book and just follow this series. I'm telling you, you are going to learn so many things from this. Thank you so much, Dr. Pillai. This was wonderful session, and this is something which I am also going to learn from this. It was a pleasure being a part of this session. Honestly.
Thank you for your wonderful question.
It will be a great pleasure to read this book, friends. I'm telling you, our audience can please get their copy of the book from the links provided in the description or visit a crossword store in their city. This session was supported by Penguin Publication. It's Puffin side of Penguin Publication. You can get your copy from the Penguin website as well. A must-read book, I'm telling you again and again, for the generation today. Wish you a very happy reading, friends. Once again, thank you, sir, and the audience from the system, in front of the systems. Get ready for the quiz based on this session and visit www.oclfnagpur.com to participate in a quiz and win exciting prizes and gifts. A gigantic Orange City Literature Festival will be back in November 2022 in Nagpur, the city of oranges. And you will be meeting Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai in that festival personally. Hai na, sir?
Absolutely, absolutely. Looking forward to see you in person.
Yes. Get ready for the physical fest in the coming winter, attending awesome sessions and interacting with the favorite author of yours and Dr. Radhakrishnan Pillai, sir. Keep following us for the updates of the Festival of Words. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.